Welcome back to the e-commerce talk. On the last show, we talked about replatforming your e-commerce solution. While switching your e-commerce solution might contribute to your online success, it won't guarantee it. The e-commerce industry is competitive, and if you're looking to stay ahead of your competitors, you need to stay up to date on the latest industry trends. Well, to help you beat your competitors, today we'll be looking at 6 trends shaping the B2B e-commerce industry in 2020. And I'm very excited to introduce today's guest. Michiel Schipperus is the CEO of Zana Commerce and has over 20 years of experience in the e-commerce industry. Welcome to the show, Michiel.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So the first question and trend we wanted to discuss was personalization. So as you know, we released the B2B buying process report earlier this year. And in that report, it said that 20% of B2B customers would like to have personalization as their top feature. What do you think about this trend in 2020?
Well, obviously I recognize that. I would expect it to be even higher than 20% because it's so crucial these days for the buyer, for the B2B buyer experience to have it personalized, right? And it's not new. It's something that has been happening, or it's a trend for over a couple of years, and I expect it to go on for a couple more years until the full B2B buyer experience is really personalized. And there's so much to win there, I think. And of course, this is driven by the customers that are actually raising their expectations when it comes to buying online. But it's also driven by technology, which is improving. You got like predictive algorithms that can actually help you predict, or help our customers predict what their buyers want from them, which is really powerful if you have that up and running. Especially in B2B, actually, because you have a lot of repetitive buying there, right? So maybe once a week, maybe even twice or 3 times per week, some businesses are buying from their vendors. And typically they buy similar products, which builds up to a pattern which algorithms can be really good at predicting. So yeah, that's a big part, I think, of how I see the personalization of the B2B buying process develop. And definitely in 2020, but definitely also beyond, because we're not where we want to be, I think.
The second trend actually ties in really well. We wanted to discuss voice commerce. So voice commerce is a really big topic. We've actually covered it before in the e-commerce talk with Louis. What do you think about voice commerce and how it's going to influence B2B buyers in 2020?
Well, I don't think that it will be a game changer next year, but it's definitely an ongoing trend, and we will see a big step again in 2020, I think, on doing more with voice. Probably around buying, but also about gathering information, right? I can imagine that you instead of going to your computer and looking something up, you'll talk to these devices and you'll say, tell me about this and this product. Is it available? What is the current price? So I definitely can see it entering, let's say, the buyer experience. And then again, for B2B, I think it's promising, more promising maybe even there for B2C, because it's kind of repetitive, right? You don't have to look up, you don't have to see the pictures for products that you have already been ordering for multiple times, and you don't need to know all the specs and etc. So I think in a B2B setting, where if it has to do with repetitive buying, that actually voice ordering can play a role, although I think not everybody is completely ready yet to embrace these new devices and technologies, but it will come for sure. I also see that from a personal experience at home. I use it a lot, I like it a lot, and I think more people will adopt it. So it will come, and it will definitely be one of the trends for the coming years.
The third trend we wanted to discuss is, as you know, we did release our B2B buying process report, and it revealed that a large number of B2B customers are using online marketplaces. So what is your view on online marketplaces in 2020?
Well, again, this is also a big trend already for many years, and they're very powerful marketplaces, and what they provide to businesses is access to potential buyers, right? So that's very valuable. At the same time, I see businesses getting vulnerable if they're depending too much on 1 or 2 of these platforms, and they probably at some point they're increasing their transaction fees, so it will be harder for them to make a margin on these products. So they have to understand that when they work with these marketplaces, that they outsource a big part of their business, basically finding customers.
Yeah.
So that's a downside. So I cannot say for all business, but in general you have to be careful with that and hopefully not be too dependent on one or two marketplaces. Seek if there are specific niche marketplaces that you can engage with, that you have a better competitive advantage because of your specific products that you offer. But you have to look, you have to be smart. Also, I know for some of our customers, marketplaces are not really an option because they have these personalized experience, or I must say this very personal relationship with their customers.
Yeah, of course.
They have specific prices negotiated, and of course, customers buying on marketplaces. These marketplaces don't facilitate that same kind of relationship with all negotiations being taking place in this marketplace. So it's definitely plays a big part for B2B customers, and it will increasingly play an important part, but they have to be really careful not to be too dependent on these platforms.
So another topic and trend we want to discuss, which is not really a new thing for vendors, but it's AR and VR. They're currently a really big hot topic in B2B or in e-commerce in general. What's your opinion on AR and VR?
Yeah, it's definitely a hot topic. It's definitely very interesting. It's also kind of sexy, right? Where you can, all these technologies and the opportunities that they provide. At the same time, I see a lot of businesses struggling with actually how to adopt it, how to make it work, and how to find the investment to get it right. I see a niche for customers or businesses creating customized product. Yeah. And if you can use AR, VR to actually create, let's call it digital prototypes or something. Yeah. That is, a big benefit that you can also integrate into your whole e-commerce environment. So it's definitely emerging trends already over the years. There will definitely things will happen. But I still see it's pretty early phase actually. So
a really big one, which is our fifth one, is what everyone's calling the greening of e-commerce, and that's sustainability. Of course, sustainability is really important across all industries, and we see it a lot in B2C. They're really conscious, and of course, it's a really, really important subject. So what do you think about greening efforts in B2B? Will it be more difficult than B2C, or?
No, not necessarily. I think also in B2B it's a good topic, and a lot of companies are really showing interest in sustainability and are also willing to pay extra for a more sustainable solution. So you see more and more companies compensating like emissions for their flights that they're taking, that their employees are taking, and you see more awareness within these companies. Yeah. So I wouldn't have any reason why I would say it's more for B2C than for B2B. And we see these options also, that they provide like more eco-friendly shipping options, for instance. And we see B2B companies actually choosing those. So yeah, it's not restricted to B2C, I would say. And I think sustainability is such a mega trend or a big topic throughout everything we do in our lives. I will definitely see that have an impact on B2B buying as well in 2020.
So, Michiel, do you think progressive web apps will replace apps in 2020?
No, not in 2020, and not all of them. I think there are still, that native apps still provide a lot of value in specific situations. But I'm always also a big fan of progressive web apps, because I've seen what they can do and how the interaction can improve, where it will be much smoother, much more user-friendly, much more rich, if I can use that word. So I do believe that progressive web app will be a big difference for B2B buyers in the future. Big fan of them, and definitely an area that we are investing in as a business, but we also, of course, advise our customers to have a look and see how they can use it for their business. Because we talked earlier about customer experience. Well, progressive web apps can play a big role in improving that. And I believe that in the future, customers will actually expect to have such interactions where it goes really fast, where you don't even notice that things are changing, and where you have a lot of possibility, or the customer have a lot of possibility to have these nice looking, nice feeling interactions when they have these, when they're in their buying process.
So we're going to see more progressive web apps in B2B as well.
100% sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, that sounds exciting.
Yeah.
The 2020 e-commerce trends sound very exciting, and we hope you're as excited as we are. So thank you very much, Michiel, for joining the show today and sharing all your insights.
You're very welcome.
We hope that you are as excited as we are for the 2020 B2B e-commerce trends. To keep up with the latest B2B e-commerce news, subscribe to our channel. And if you want to learn more about your B2B customers' wants and needs, then make sure to read our B2B buying process report. You can find the link to the report in the description. Also, let us know in the comments which trends you're most looking forward to. Until next time, bye!